And we are live. And look at that. It's like just almost 9 o'clock on the dot. You're Eastern Standard Time like me, right? So,
Yes. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock p.m.
all right. Now, this is like my most difficult part is for some reason I like can never get to like as quick as I would like to. I don't know why. Just like always does that for me. So if you can see the chat.
Not yet. I don't see. I'm waiting to see it come. Stream pop up. Here we go. Oh, we got Dan's Fish is streaming right now too. All of a sudden. Whatever. And H2O Fish or H2O Plants is also streaming right now.
Oh, Justin streams tonight too. Yeah, that's right.
We are live. And I only.
Oh, there we go.
It's on me.
Yeah, I just flipped the thing. All right, good.
Oh,
Cool.
there.
Oh, I forgot Justin streams on Wednesdays. He streams at 8, though, usually 8 to 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Stag? Lisa, my wrench. She did a live stream this afternoon when I was on my way home. Joseph was on, hanging out. Someone was having a grumpy day and did not understand fish fam and was Mr. Grumpy Pants. I'm here, Lisa. Can you hear me? No, right on time, Ernest. Want a box full of awesome goodies for your aquarium sign? Oh, look at that. Lisa's the best. She's got to
Right.
start getting paid for sure. Uncle Greg's here. Dr. Salty Aquatics is here. Ernest is here asking questions. Lisa's
Daryl
running
Dimmer.
around and dancing.
Daryl
Josh is
Dimmer.
here.
Yeah.
Daryl's here. Honeybee's here from the UK. Oh, goodness. What is it? 2 o'clock in the morning for Honeybee. She always shows up. Ryan's in the house. He's my boy from Massachusetts, although I've never met him in person. He's saying the 6 to 7 inch 2 Gillespie Bichers. Oh yeah, that you saw that on Mass Aquarium's Facebook post today. I think I was inquiring about that. Dawson's here. It's a Wednesday night, and we got a friend of mine, Joseph from JH Aquatics, joining us. I met him for the first time at the Aquatic Experience. He was all like cool looking in a t-shirt, just hanging out. And then the next thing I know, he's in a suit and he's like, "Can I interview you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this. Interview me." And then he was interviewing this person. He was just making his rounds. So why don't you introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't know who you are?
Yeah, if nobody knows who I am, it's I'm Joseph Pardon, JH Aquatics, and my channel is all about adventure, knowledge, and more. You know, so really for me, it's all about sharing my adventures in the fish hobby and the knowledge that I've collected over my experiences and whatever else I could come up with, such as the hashtag FishFamNews. But yeah. And I've been trying to get out in the wild a little bit more lately, as most people might have noticed. I'm trying to get wet in the creeks and find fish in the wild. That's a passion of mine, and yeah, so that's pretty much that.
What is so speaking of going out into wild and getting fishies,
Fishies.
my plan for my new tank was to do a native tank, but as I'm learning, most, if not every fish that I can catch is illegal to have in an aquarium.
Yeah, it's illegal to net them. It's usually that's part of the rule is that you can hook them, but you can't like catch them with nets or snares, right? Some places.
Well, the thing is I can catch a bass and I can kill it and fry it up and eat it.
Hmm.
But I'm not allowed to catch a bass and put it in my aquarium and allow him to live. That's illegal. And
That's
I
very odd.
guess they're not
I
saying that
need
they
to
come
research.
busting down the doors, but there is a hefty
Does that
fine.
include breeding them? Is that part of the rule? Is it just actually keeping them like as a pet?
I believe it's keeping them as a pet. You
Wow.
cannot. There is special permits, like we have Bass Pro Shops around here, and they have big, giant, like 1,000,000-gallon tanks with bass in them. But there's special permits, and they get
That's wild.
them from. They need to go through testing to make sure they don't have parasites or this or that. Like, there's a whole bunch of rules. Like, you'd think you could just like make a little minnow trap, catch some minnows or catch some bass and catch some sunfish or whatever and put them in your tank. And no, you cannot do that. And it's very frustrating.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure it out myself. I think I might have some of the same issues I've been trying to get with people with I'm right on the border of national park. Pretty much 2/3 of this island that I live on, St. John, U.S. Virgin Islands, is all national park. But I've been trying to find out all the laws and regulations and stuff, and I came across one form that I have here that you have to fill out, but this doesn't help me at all. This is basically for fishermen. I mean, it has every saltwater species listed here below. You can check it off in the box and explain whether or not you snared it, netted it, hooked it, rod and reel, lobster traps, fish traps, blah, blah, blah. All the details are here, but it's all saltwater, and it has nothing to do with, you know, collecting them for scientific purposes or anything like that. So I think I might have a little, be in trouble for that. That's why I'm trying to make sure that no matter what, I stay out of national park borders. So because that's definitely illegal to even have it. If you get caught with a net, period, in the park, it's like a $10,000 fine, and they confiscate everything that's on you. So
Cruz has sent a $20 super chat. He is the king of the super chats on my channel. So dilly to Cruz. Thank you for that super chat. Truly appreciate it. So I have it under saved. Your last, I think it was a couple days ago, you uploaded your video that you were going to catch fish. Now, are these fish? You're not catching saltwater fish, even though you have the paperwork. You're going for freshwater fish, right?
Yeah, freshwater, tropical fish. We really only have 3 fish here on the island that the university has on record. We have the mountain mullet, the mullet fish. We have wild guppy, and we have a goby fish. But I have a friend of mine that claimed that they found a blue goby. So that's like has been my hype lately. Is I've been trying to find this blue goby, and I haven't found it myself. But a friend of mine said him and his girlfriend were out playing in the creek, and they found it. We call them guts here. But so I went to the same waterway that they found that goby, and I'd never been there before, and I really was kind of blown away. I've lived here for 19 years. I cannot believe I've never been in this spot because there's just like these crazy waterfalls, all this stuff. And I show it all in the video. It kind of blew my mind. I felt kind of goofy that I'd never been there, but I still did not find the blue goby. I found a blue crab, a land crab, but that's not what I was looking for. So, but it's fun stuff. I'm really, and I think going out and doing it and getting this footage, and I love making content. I love making videos, and it's a personal passion of mine. That's why I'm here on YouTube. But making those kinds of videos, I kind of wanted to do that in the beginning too, but I just hadn't. And I don't know. I get a natural high off of it. I love being out there in the wild and tromping through the wilderness. And so like, I feel like I'm not trying to take a turn with my channel. My channel is about fish keeping and the hobby, and that's that. But very much at the same time, it's about me getting out in the wild to find these things in their natural habitats and observe where they, observe their natural habitats before they've ever been, swiped with a net or scared or anything. Try to sneak that GoPro down in the water and see them happy before I've scared them. And it's kind of hard. It's really hard to do that part though, to actually get up and close on them and sneak up on a fish. Can't really sneak up on a fish, but I've been trying to do that as much as I can to like sneak up on these pools, because as soon as they see you, the gobies take off under a rock. The crayfish scatter. So definitely.
I would think the best luck would be to drop the GoPro in, say, like 1 hour before, your battery can't last forever. So say 15 minutes before sunrise, drop the GoPro in and then disappear and come back in an hour, and you'll get 15 minutes of dark and you're gone, and then 45 minutes of light when all the fish are like starting to get active and there's nothing around, and you might catch some great footage that way.
Oh, that's all if you check out any of those like wild fish adventure videos, that is how I get that kind of footage. I literally I put a string on the GoPro, I lower it down real calmly and quietly down in the water, and then I take off and I hike up, I film some footage, talk to the camera, whatever, and take off for a while, get away from that pool so they don't see me. And I give it half an hour or so, and I come back. I just let it go for half an hour, 45 minutes, and I come back and grab it. And that's pretty much how I've gotten any of like the shrimp footage that I have. I've got there's 5 different species of freshwater shrimp here, prawns and ghost shrimp and stuff like that. So yeah, I plan on doing a native tank. I've been looking at moving, so I'm in limbo with doing any projects, including breeding and stuff, which I'm like put everything on hold right now because I'm going to Peru in a month or 2 here. That's another thing coming up is the July fish collecting trip with Corey McElroy and Dwayne Kitchell and Dean. And it's Michael Barber. And I don't know if Eon Fuller will actually be there.
Oh,
But he's
Corey's
one of
going
the
to that too?
founders. Yeah, well, actually, Bob Steamfont and Corey McElroy were the ones that kind of came up with the idea, as far as I know. I think it was really Bob's idea. And I don't know if you know Eric Bodrock that has a business, All Oddball Aquatics. Eric Bodrock. He was just there about a month ago, or not even a month ago. He was just there a couple of weeks ago, and he just had a whole bunch of fish shipped back to the United States. I think he collected them the day before yesterday or something. I just emailed him because I'm really curious what he brought back and how his experience was with Go Wild Peru. But yeah, I don't know if any. I'm sure people in the chat know Eon Fuller. He's awesome guy. He's got like probably one of the biggest collections of photographs of Corridora and catfish. He's an awesome guy, and I don't think he's going to be there this week, the week that we're there. But his business partner Michael Barber, he's going to be there. So it's going to be like an adventure. I know for a lot of fish nerds, this is a once in a lifetime experience. But
oh my God,
I plan on going back. I plan on going back again and again. This is just the first trip to South America for me. I promise you guys that, because like I said, this is a passion of mine. That's the part of it that I love, is actually getting out of the wild and seeing them there. Like, you could put them in a fish tank, and that's awesome. But to get to see them first in that dirty little pool of water, that brackish or black water pool where they're from, like that's the part that really gets me excited.
While I would love to go to Peru in my mind, I don't even really like to drive an hour away from my house. So that will probably never happen for me. Although, yeah, while freshwater has been my passion since I was about 7 or 8 years old, newly I'm into saltwater for only 3 years now. But if I could go to any type of reef, Australia, the Caribbean, wherever, like, I would fly there in a second with not one bit of anxiety, knowing that I'm going to go, like, observe these for a reef vacation, not just like you go see the reef for like a couple hours and you do something else for a week. Like, the whole time is focused on that.
Yeah, we'll be collecting fish 6 days in a row. Every day we'll be out on an adventure 6 days in a row. Like, I'm gonna run out of
right there.
I'm gonna run out of SD cards. That's what I'm trying to make sure I have enough space, enough memory. I don't want to harass anybody, and they're like, Corey, can I dump this on your drive? No, I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure that I'm prepared. But I don't know who all's in the chat for sure right now, but I grew up in the pet trade. My parents when I was a kid, my parents imported exotic animals from Mexico. So from the age of 3, I was in Mexico with my parents collecting iguanas and exotic birds, and they would bring them back. We'd bring them back in huge crates and trailers and drive them across the Mexican border from Central America, through Central America. And so I grew up in the trade. I grew up with living rooms full of fish tanks and bedrooms full of birds waking me up in the morning, flicking birdseed on my head. Like, I grew up in reptiles, and my dad loved snakes, and he loved he's still alive. Arachnids. My dad would play with spiders on a whim, like, no problem. And so I grew up around all that stuff. I have a passion for nature, wildlife, and wildlife conservation and ethical ethical pet trade. Like, there's an ethical and moral way to do all this, not just going and ripping them out of the waterways and not thinking twice about what you're doing. There's definitely the proper way to do it, and I kind of learned that growing up from my parents. so that's where my whole hobby stems from for me. Really, I was born into it really through my father and my mother.
So you're clearly super, super passionate. What do you do for your day job?
Oh, you went. Yeah, I had a little flicker there. What do I do? What?
What do you do for your day job?
A little bit of everything right now, like a jack of all trades. To be completely honest, for many years a chef. Since I was 15, I've done Napolitana pizza, true Italian pizza. I cook it about 850 degrees, um, 420 degrees Celsius, and pizzas for me when I cook them take about 95 seconds to cook. But I learned from true Naples pizzaioli, and I speak a little bit of Italian from all my years in my youth working with Italians. And my mother always told me I was Italian, and I find out in my DNA test I'm 75% Scott Irish. But I always thought I was Italian, and I was raised around that culture as well as the Native American culture. Very very interesting mix, but raised Native American, went to ceremony as a child, all through my childhood. Was raised Native American. That's where my religion and my faith lies, to be completely honest. But also raised around the Italian culture. So I cooked for many years as a pizzaiolo and true Naples style pizza up until just about a year ago, and I finally actually I gave it up because it's a passion. I love it, but the money was still like a high school kid's job. It was still hard to make a real living at it unless you own the pizzeria. So I kind of passed that up to make more money doing a little bit more hard labor and focus on my YouTube channel as well. So
That is truly like amazing. The just the store, the store, how you tell that just like quick, like 1 minute, like this is who I am. Let me try to get it in. Is just like actually.
like I said, I'm a jack of all trades. I did plumbing for the last 7 years. I've been like during the day. I used to work 18 hours a day. I would do a 9 to 5 job as a new construction residential commercial plumber. I've been doing that for 7 years as a day job, and then I did pizza 7 nights a week. Actually, for 2 years straight, I worked 7 days a week for 2 years straight as a pizzaiolo at night, an Italian pizzeria with a wood fire brick oven every night. And so it's a nice. I have no problem working hard when it's something that I'm passionate for, and that's another reason why YouTube is works for me, because it's about my passion. It makes it easy to want to do it.
I was a chef for a lot of years. Almost 8 years. And that's not what I went to school for, but that's what I loved to do. And unfortunately, the place was sold because I was going to make a career out of it. I love to cook. I'm extremely passionate about cooking. I'm a good cook. I wouldn't say I'm a master chef, but if there's anything that you want me to cook, I could probably do it very easily. Me personally, with pizza, I like doughy pizza. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, don't say that.
I like the pizza, like sort of like the pizza it's like not thick crust, it's not thin crust, it's like right in the middle. So when you pick it up, it holds. You don't need to fold it to get it to hold. Right. But I like the edges to be a little bit doughy. And what I do is when I make my homemade pizza, I use homemade sauce made from scratch myself. I'm a great tomato sauce maker. And I brush the edges with butter, and I rub them with roasted garlic and a little bit of salt. And I just like a regular, very simple, sauce and cheese, maybe like arugula or just something green. And that's it. I'll eat the whole thing to my head.
Yeah, I don't know. I just changed all my Facebook images, like my backdrop and everything. But up until about, if anybody that knows me already has seen my Facebook page, they would have seen that I've showcased my pizza on my Facebook page for the last 7 years or so. So the images were it's like pizza porn, if I can say that word and not get you demonetized. But
oh, don't worry, I swear a ton on these live streams. So if pizza porn will definitely not get us demonetized.
Yeah.
What's up, Devin? So, Devin's in the house.
So but it's honestly, people you want to talk about Italian pizza and they always think it's really crispy and and dry and this and that. But truly, like Naples style pizza, it's cooked so fast that it's got a crispy shell on the outside from being flash cooked by the heat, but in the inside, because it's only been in there for 95 seconds, the center of that bread product, the crust itself, is actually still has a nice, moist, steamy kind of. It's still soft, but not raw. It's like 95 seconds. It's been anything longer, you would catch on fire in there at 900 degrees. But anyways, yeah, I could talk about pizza forever. That's my other passion besides fish. So
I'll be
we
honest,
gotta be careful.
I don't like that crispy crust at all.
Oh, like the
I know what you're
straight, just
saying.
dried out, crispy thing. That's what they like. New Haven pizza is what they call that, I believe. Like
No,
New
I
Haven,
mean,
Connecticut pizza.
oh geez. I like, so we go to the North End in Boston around here,
Yeah.
and they make some seriously good Italian pizza there. And while the flavor is good, I prefer a doughy crust. I don't like that flash burnt. I call it burnt, even though it's not burnt, where it's crispy, but the inside is kind of like that pretzely, like real soft. Like you said, it's like just cooked enough that it's not raw, but it's not cooked enough where it's like
Dried out
just
and
get
yeah,
to the
like
inside and skip the outside.
right, like the crispy where it cuts the roof of your mouth, kind of thing. Where you got like yeah. um, I'm looking here at all this little list of questions that I have, but I do have questions though. Like I'm just curious how you
What's up, fishy snowman?
what was your inspiration to get on to be on YouTube? Was I mean, because how long have you been on YouTube, and what was your inspiration, or who, if there was another YouTuber, was really like your inspiration to start making content on YouTube?
Yeah, that's a great question. I got on YouTube out of boredom.
Okay.
I've had fish tanks since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I had them my whole life. I got out of the the fish tank world when I got married because I was, you know, cooking a lot, working nights and weekends, and I'm big into golf, so I golf and I fish a lot, and there was just no time, so I got back into it. And my wife is thanks, Paul. Thank you, Greg, by the way.
Oh,
Thank you,
nice.
Paul.
Oh, Greg, super chat, awesome.
Um, cheers, dilly dilly, Greg. Yes, happy birthday to me. 38 tomorrow. Yeah, so my wife works nights, and when I had our first couple of kids, I could no longer leave the house anymore at night because she was at work, and I was like, "What the hell do I do? I have nothing to do." And I always used to watch Cloud9 Aquariums. I don't know if you know his channel. He hasn't posted a
Yeah.
video in, I would say, like a couple of years, but I would watch him every single video over and over and over again. And there was just something about him that uh, uh, made me just want to keep watching, even though it wasn't so much about the fish in the background, but just the way he delivered it, like real natural. And I was like, hey, maybe I'll just
Mhm.
do a YouTube video. I got nothing else to do. And then I shot a few
Nice.
videos, and I was like, hey, calling up my mother and my father and my sister, like, hey, will you guys sub me? I want to get to like 10 subs. That'll be super cool.
Yeah. Right.
And then when I
Yeah.
hit
Well, you're up
50 subscribers, I was like, wow, I can't believe 50 people are watching me.
to.
And it just kind of went
Yeah.
from there. I just, any night my wife would work, I would, hang out with my dog and have a few beers. And I was doing fish tank stuff anyway, so I figured I'll just put it on film. I don't have time to edit. I don't have time to put music in the background or do anything fancy. It was literally just like for me. And believe it or not, I had over 250 videos and maybe like 5 to 8,000 subscribers, and I never monetized my videos because I didn't even know you could do that.
Oh, right. You're just doing it you were doing it for you.
I was
Yeah.
doing it for me because I was bored, and I had fun meeting people on YouTube and answering questions and talking with the YouTube fans. And then one day, Michael Aarons from Aaron's Aquariums was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I noticed your videos aren't monetized. You can monetize your videos?" I was like, "What's that mean?" He's like, "You get money for people watching your videos." I was like, "Really? How do I do that?"
So you were really inspired by like an original, like part of the original like fish niche family there, like one of the OGs, huh?
Oh yeah, Cloud9. Dustin. Honestly, I never watched Joey. While I message Joey, I don't enjoy Joey's videos. Some of his older videos, like when he was showing you how to do something,
Yeah, it's
I would
DIY.
watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I never really like watched him on a regular basis. But for instance, like a lot of people can't stand Dustin, but I loved watching Dustin. You know, that in your face craziness, like
He's
it can
got that
be
certain
annoying, but
persona. Yeah.
he's not like it's not scripted. He's not doing anything. He was just showing what he's doing on a daily basis. Cloud9 Aquariums sucked me in. Um, I used to comment on
Right.
his videos all the time. He'd never comment back, and I'd be like, you know, I'm asking questions. And that's one thing I wanted to do with my channel is if I'm putting a video up, that means that people are going to watch it and want to ask questions. And if I don't answer those questions, then why am I putting the video up? You know what I mean? Like I'm putting it up for people to hopefully learn something. And if they have a question to ask, I love to answer the question.
Nice.
So that's that spiel.
There you go.
And now we can dilly dilly for monetization. Now I get, you know, to pay
Yeah. Get
an
super
electric bill
chats
for all the aquariums I'm running.
Yeah, you get super chats there too.
Super chats from Cruz. He's always super chatting. Greg gave me a birthday super chat. Paul over in the UK. I watch his live streams. He's got a gorgeous saltwater tank. Absolutely awesome. Rack is here. Rack is in the house. Mr. River Life
Nice.
himself.
Yeah, I like Rack, man.
Oh man, he's a super cool guy.
I like his energy. He's a very positive individual. Yeah, I really enjoy. I know when I met him in Chicago for the first time as well, and it was and out of a lot of the people that I met, I feel like I remembered him just because he had this energy. You know, when I met him, it was just like I don't know.
I
I
remember
don't
him
know.
because I'm not that tall. I think I'm 5'9", maybe 5'10",
Right.
and he was way shorter than me, and that doesn't happen too often. And he's got this awesome beard, and he was just so passionate about his YouTube channel. He's just like, "Hey, I'm retired, and I'm loving YouTube. How do I do this and do that?" And he's just a really nice person to talk to. Really like
Yeah.
Rack. And then he was on live the other night. I don't know how long ago.
Oh, on your stream. No,
Yeah.
I was trying to get in, like, and then I
Oh yeah,
saw
the
him come
power
on. I'm
kept getting
like,
fucked
oh,
up.
I'm about to just get in here and just hang out with everybody. But I knew I was gonna get in trouble for that. I mean, when she's got to be up super early and I work in the morning, and we live like you were saying, do I live in a shoot box? And technically, I mean, literally, I've I'm pursuing my passion, and I kind of a little bit selfish about it. I mean, my living room. This is my living room. It's a fish room and a studio as well. Like it's like you can't see what's on the other side of this here, but this is all cords and lighting and camera equipment and a boom and studio mic and
I take
computers
it
and
for granted because I have a
on
big
board.
house, but there's no safe place in
Yeah.
my house unless the kids are asleep. So
Well, and then I got the other half behind. This is 7 fish tanks back here, and I've got one, two, three, four running in the next room in the kitchen. I have four more fish tanks in the kitchen, and I have fish tanks. I have grow out tubs in my fire escape, which my landlord just informed me I have to remove them. So I have 150, 200 guppies that are like they're not mutant. I mean, I don't have any they're birth defects, but they're my coals from my Indler breeding program. So I have like 150 Indlers from a breeding program that I have to get rid of like tomorrow. My landlord says I have until the 18th to remove the grow out tubs, the 25-gallon, two 25-gallon grow out tubs in my fire escape because it's a fire hazard. You know, it's a safety hazard. It's the fire escape. I can't keep them in there. So,
dilly dilly Dev, thanks for the super chat. Dev
nice.
from Reef Dudes just dropped $5 Canadian, which is about 37 cents American. So thank you for that, Dev. Much appreciated. I'm just busting your balls, Dev.
So there's a good question. It's a classic question. It's one of my classic questions though. But like, what's your dream tank? Like, if you got like the dream tank, like money's not a limit, you know, space and money or whatever. Like, because some people still, I ask people that question. Sometimes it's still something small. You know, a lot of people want to say something massive, but some people are just more realistic and they're like, I know I got to take care of this thing and pay
Does
for
it
it.
have to be a tank or can it be a giant pond?
Well, yeah, totally be a pond. What was it? Dwayne Kitchell is talks. He says he wants half-mile rivers. And
If
I'm like,
if money was not an option, it would be a pond in my backyard, like a legit.
koi.
No. Not like a
Okay.
koi pond. I'm talking like an actual pond that a boat can go on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that's what I want to live on. If it's a tank, and money is not an option, I think I would really prefer exotic saltwater fish tank. No corals, just really, really beautiful small saltwater fish. It doesn't have to be like a massive 800-gallon tank. It can be like 200 gallons.
So
But
no live coral or anything like that. Just focus on the fish, kind of like
no,
with
like
the.
even if I have a trillion gazillion dollars and I can buy whatever corals I want, I'm not interested in the corals. I'm interested in beautiful saltwater fish. There's something about saltwater fish that is different than freshwater. There is many beautiful freshwater fish.
I agree. Yeah.
Um,
I think if
that
I went
would be I
salty,
would
I'd.
just love to watch.
Yeah, I think if I went salty, which I mean, my father has.
Thank
My
you,
father
honeybee.
has.
Thanks,
Oh
sweetie.
yeah. And my father has like 5 saltwater tanks, and he focuses on both. He's got both fish and coral and stuff. But I think I would end up being like I'd be one of these if I went salty, it would be one of these. I'd be one of these reefers with like frags and stuff. Like I know it's just so corny. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got their own thing, but I think that's where I would end up going with it because they're just so those crazy intense colors and just the fact that just understanding when you learn about coral and what they're really made of and just the billions of little cells that they're made up and the fact that they have symbiotic algae like living within them and they can't just survive on their own. They're part of a bigger ecosystem. It's just pretty intense. They're pretty deep to me. Like I would totally be into the coral and that part of it because I'm more into micro stuff. That's why I have my microscope and I like to play with that. And
Yeah, I watched a
I
little bit
like
of
little
that on your
tiny
live
stuff.
stream the other night with all it brought me right back to like ninth grade biology
High school.
class.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. I could sit here for hours and play with the microscope. And the nice thing is that it's not like the old school thing where you're stuck looking through the eyepieces. I've got it run into my computer and run into a 21-inch monitor, and I can sit back and just look at the monitor and not have to look through the lens. But honestly, it's only 5 megapixels. So when you look through I'll be playing around on the computer, and then when I turn around, I finally look through the eyepieces. It's like, oh my god, like what was I missing? Like it's so much better detail and actual optics. But
If the question was if money wasn't an option and also taking care of it wasn't an option, then corals would be added to that tank. But taking care of corals is not like
it's such an
it's
ecosystem that they're part of. There's so
you
many
have to take
symbiotic.
care of it. You can't just like
Yeah,
set it and forget it. That's not how it works for corals. There
yeah,
is, like I like to say, easier corals. Really corals aren't easy. Some corals that's easy in someone's tank aren't easy in someone else's tank, but there is some, I would say, fairly, I'm going to say it, easier corals that you could try to start out with and make a beautiful reef tank that doesn't have to be overly expensive. And that's really the basics of my channel is I wanted people to realize that you can have beautiful tanks, saltwater and freshwater, and you don't have to go overboard and spend your entire paycheck to make that happen.
yeah.
Like
I think
simple as
my my dream tank would not be a tank. It would be more of a water garden, a water aquatic system. I would literally do something where it would be the whole like a moat, like the whole outside of my house around the building, and literally I'd want it to like come through the building at one point, like literally have like a cold water like mountain stream that's like comes through through a living room or like a living space, and then goes back outside, one fashion or the other, and then maybe like where the basement you actually have from in the basement you'd have big plexiglass Lexan windows or acrylic windows where you're like looking into a koi pond while you're in the basement and the koi pond's outside. Like I've been dreaming about this forever. It would literally be, and then something like that, you just can't keep it to yourself. It would have to be like, it would become like a nature center where
So you basically want to live in an
school,
aquarium. You're just going to buy an aquarium.
I don't think it wouldn't be my home. Right. It wouldn't be my home at that point. Like, so I'm getting at. It would literally be like, I guess my dream aquarium or fish aquatic deal would be, yeah, it would be like a nature center, um, where school groups could come. Like every day of the week, I'd have like a field trip coming in, and it would just, the money would be going back into it. It might even be like a nonprofit thing for like, animal conservation, wildlife conservation. But it would literally be like this, an intense thing. A gentleman put a video out this last week, and if I look at my news notes, I'd have the actual name of the guy and his channel. I'm blanking on that, but it was pretty awesome. It was a 53-foot long living stream inside of a nature center in his town, and it wasn't even that big, but I was just like, that's awesome. I want to do that like 10 times as big, or like
That
100 times as big, where it's, you got like, and in this case, what he had going on was like all native to a local waterway. They pulled like, it was like trout and the turtles and everything, and the crayfish was all native to
Well, that's what I want.
their
Turtles.
area.
I want literally to build a pond that is just native to Massachusetts. I mean, things will happen. Birds will come, frogs will come, turtles will come. Stock it with fish, let it just grow. And like, I don't even know if this is wrong, like nature wise. I'm sure it is fish wise, but like, I want to catch the fish and be like, hey, what's up, Joseph? You're looking good, nice and healthy. Looks like you're eating. Okay, we'll throw you back. And then I want to cast and catch another fish and be like, what's up, Katie? How you doing?
Oh God,
You're nice and healthy. Good for
now
you.
you're sounding
Joseph,
like,
again, seriously, I caught you, Joseph, again
oh,
for the
you're
second
sounding like
time.
that guy.
God
What's that?
damn it.
Catch 'em all fishing. I can't watch that.
Oh, I don't know. But
They
it's
like
my
throw
pond.
stuff in the
I
lakes.
live in the woods. I've got plenty of acreage for a pond. The only thing behind me is woods and then an apple farm with plenty of space. And that's what I'd love to do. That'd be absolutely awesome.
Nice.
It's probably not
Yeah, whatever I would
so
do,
nice
it
to
would be
fish, but
big. Whatever I would do would definitely be big, and it would be very natural, and I would have to have it like open to the public in one fashion or the other. There would have to be something that I would actually help educate the youth and keep kids kind of connected with nature, because going to the aquatic experience, and I said this before, like, I think of the hobby as all of us adult fish nerds doing our thing, and all that. But unless you own a fish store like someone like Corey McElroy or something like that, or you go to these events regularly, you don't see that there's, you kind of forget maybe, or I don't know, there's so much youth, so many young people there. And made me feel good too, though, because these kids are getting they're learning about nature. It's kind
one
of
of
a
the most
grounding kind of
important
thing.
things,
They're not playing video
and
games.
I'd love to ask you a question about that. One of the most important things is not, I feel, is like I'm a peaceful person. I don't like drama. I got too much going on in my life with 4 kids and a couple jobs that, like, I don't need this YouTube drama. So I just like to get along with everybody and just stay peaceful. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you start ignoring these younger kids and blowing them off, like, that's the aquarium future. Like, if you
Oh yeah.
can't get these kids excited about having fish tanks and joining the hobby, and you can't keep putting them down YouTube wise, like, then that's the only way to make the hobby last, is to introduce these young kids to the
Right.
community, support what they're doing. But I'd love to ask you this question. Usually I save a lot of these questions for like a true interview, but with the hashtag fish fam, I'd love to ask that, like, in the YouTube community, there seems to be, like, it's kind of like cliques. There's like high school cliques. If you've
Right.
started a channel at the same time as other people started channels, you tend to gravitate towards
I know
them.
this. I know what question you're gonna ask. I know which question. Go ahead.
It's like
I've heard,
there's.
I've heard your interviews before. I'm like, go ahead, I'm sorry.
You want
I
me to
don't mean
keep
to interrupt
asking
you.
though?
Yeah, no, go ahead. I might be wrong. I'm just getting.
Well,
I
there's
started
like,
interrupting.
you know, when you're freshman and then you move on to sophomore and you kind of hate on the freshman, and then you move on to your junior year in high school, and then you kind of make friends with some of the sophomores, but you still hate on the freshmen because that's what you're supposed to do. There really seems like a lot of that going on, and it's very difficult for anybody to start a new YouTube channel, especially I just feel like in this day and age, you know, you kind of stick to your guns and you kind of push people out that are trying to take over your territory. Even if they have a good channel, it's very difficult to accept. I'm not talking about me. I'm just talking about how I observe the YouTube community. Do you think it's childish or like natural behavior to like pick a place in the community and just like kind of gravitate towards that one area and like only focus? Like if anybody decides that they don't like one channel out of the 30 channels that think you're affiliated with, then like you just kind of like have to take that side? Or do you feel like we all need to be fish fam and stick together? Because if we don't have each other's back in this niche fish keeping community, like then who is going to have our back? Like why are we getting into it with each other? It's absolutely nonsense.
Right. Well, I mean, to answer that, I think it is natural. I also think it's childish. I agree with both. You know, both. It's childish and it's natural to kind of have your little groups of people. You know, everybody kind of has their little cliques or whatnot, so to speak. But no, I think we should all stick together. You know, I was in a chat earlier, Lisa's chat, she's here, and I brought up something about, I was asking about hashtag fish fam. Like, you know, most of the people in her stream were reefers and salt people, you know, and saltwater people. And
Yeah, Lisa's today. I was driving home and I saw
yeah,
that.
and I was like, so for me, it's like, I think you came in there right after that happened, right after something happened. So, but I was just trying to, I don't know. It's. I think I asked the question wrong, but I was really just kind of like asking if does anybody in here know about the hashtag fish fam, because I just wonder, is the salt people, do they know what hashtag fish fam is? Are they consider them part of it? Like, because I'm not trying, you know, I'm just if I think that we're all have fish tanks, or like somebody had
Well,
said in
just
her
like
chat, all glass boxes. It's all the same thing, you know. They're fish.
Devin says, Reef Dudes, he says, it's not a competition. We are a
Oh
big
no.
group of fish heads. I think
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
should be helping each other.
Yeah,
And
just a
just
bunch of.
like,
Well, that's why I do saltwater news. You know, I always kind of try to remember to add some saltwater stuff in the news, and
so
you
let's get
know,
to that in a second. I
and
just
I'll
would like to
probably do
say,
more.
just like the shirt you're wearing, Greg's motto and my Aquarium Box motto is literally for the love of fish keeping.
Right.
Because I can plug my Aquarium Box till I'm blue in the face, but I guarantee you 100% me and Greg and Michael are not making really any money. We do this because we want, I mean, eventually we would love to have it be a full-time job, but Greg works his ass off to just get the fish keeping community cool stuff every month. Like,
Oh yeah,
really, all there is to it.
and it's a
I don't know.
beautiful
Now I'm
thing,
all
really,
fired up.
too. No, but yeah, no, yeah, you're passionate about it. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing too. You know, I think about it. That's why I was excited to find. Like I told you before we came into the stream, which is actually a really good story. You know, I was talking about how my girlfriend gets the Birch box, which is like a girl's box with all the little beauty products and creams and stuff like that and makeup. And then we have the Bark box for the dog, and you know he gets that every month. We let him tear into it like a Christmas present, and then I don't remember what channel it was that was promoting it, where it was. I think maybe even it was. I don't know if it was my girlfriend that found it. I don't know, but I came across the My Aquarium box, and I was like, okay, I get my box now. Like she gets her box, the dog's got his box, whatever. And now I got my box. I was so excited to have like my own subscription box that is coming in every month, and I was just pumped about that alone. And then to get it, you know, and it's like a Christmas present every month. Like you don't know what's in it, and it's not just one thing; it's a bunch of cool things, and I pretty much get to use everything. Luckily, you know, I don't have a lot of big cichlids, so maybe some of the big pellets and stuff I kind of can pass on to other friends of mine that have bigger fish or something like that. But that's another cool thing too. Like if there's something in the box that I can't use, it's an opportunity for me to pay it forward, and it's something I can give to another friend of mine. You know, I can pass it along to someone else that can use it.
We've heard
It's
of that a
cool.
lot, and
Yeah.
that's really another great thing is when you get these boxes, you stash them in a closet or whatever, and you're like, well, I don't need this right now. But then we've heard a lot of stories that months and months will go by, and something will happen, and you'll be like, oh, I think I got something 5 months ago, and then you go rummaging through the boxes, and there's something there that you need. Or if you don't need it, you know, you give it to people that are starting their fish tank, and maybe they'd love it.
All
It's
right.
really
Yeah.
it's really cool.
So we're talking about the box now. I'm just going to do this. Honestly, I want to do this because, well, for one, we've been trying to get the stream going. I had power go out the other day. That didn't work. But I was going to do a, I was going to make an unboxing video because I've done like two before on my channel, and I was planning on doing an unboxing video with the box, but like that means I'd have to wait until my filming day and I can set up the
Oh,
lights
no,
and
no.
do it
Well,
all the
so
way I
I
want
want
to.
to ask you one more question, and you
What's
can
up?
answer the question and segue right into the box opening.
All
And
right, all
that's a
right.
perfect time for me to go take a piss.
There you go.
I absolutely love the Fish Fam news. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not kissing your ass because you're on here. I think it's like absolutely amazing that you have the Fish Fam news, that you go over like a bunch of, it's usually like between like, what is it, like
10.
8 and 12
I try to
channels
keep it, yeah, 10 or 12.
that you go through and what they've done for the week. And not only does that bring the community together, but you're showcasing, like, it's almost like when I watch ESPN and something they blip through that makes me go watch it. You give a
Right.
quick version of what everybody's done that week, and then you list it in the description. And so if people want to go watch that tiny little segment you showed, that's a genius in my book. Like, I think it's
Well,
absolutely amazing.
for
I
me
love
too,
every
I just
part of
want
it.
to say thank you. No, I thank you a lot. No, and it's, I was literally laying in bed one night because for me, I'm an artist. This is art to me. A big part of making these videos is just it's art. It's a release for me. It's me getting my passion out, and I'm not painting a painting or something else like I've done before and drawing or whatever. This is a form of art for me. And but at the same point, being an artist, you want to be original. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. That's boring, right? So like I was laying in bed one night, just brainstorming like what I was just gonna come up with something. Don't want to be different. I want to do something new, something original, but something that was useful. And when I said that to myself, useful in my head, and I started just brainstorming, and I was just staring at the ceiling. And when I came up with that idea, I jumped up out of bed, ran out in the living room to tell my girlfriend, and she's like, "Are you talking about YouTube again?" It's like, oh, but that's just how you come up with that stuff. You just have to just grind in your head and come up. And I was just like so excited when I came up with the idea because it's good for me too because it gives me an opportunity to I find new channels, I find new contents, and I find new people. I make new friends through it too. But one thing I do want to say because everybody always says thank you for the shout out, thank you for the shout out, and I'm not. That's not what it is for me. I kind of get upset about it. I'm not, because it's not just trying to give shout outs. I'm trying to do, honestly, I try to do it as a spoof a little bit. I put on the suit and I act like a news anchor, blah blah blah.
Well,
But
it's like the Ron Burgundy of fish keeping.
yeah,
I
I've
love
heard
it.
that. Yeah,
I
but the
think
thing is,
I may be guilty of thanks for the shout out, but it's only because I
no,
watch
yeah,
every
I know a
episode
lot.
and I like watching it.
Everybody says it. But the thing is I do want to reiterate that it's not. I'm not trying to just give shout outs. I'm really trying to like pick through. I literally take time. I look at it over the week and then I spend like Friday and Saturday. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and I grind and I just fine tune which videos I really, really liked and check them off and come up with a list. And it's not just stuff, of course, a lot of it is stuff that I enjoyed, but I'm looking for good content. I'm looking for stuff that's positive and educational and good for the community, or something that was just totally awesome and like wow, like I had to watch the whole freaking video. I just couldn't stop because it was really good stuff. So I'm not just trying to just give shout outs. I do try to keep it, change it up, and try to find new channels all the time. So it's not like same people. I've had some people make comments and to the videos like, why are you always talking about the same people? And my answer to that would be is because they're making good content that like I can't say no to. and like it was a
That's
good video.
amazing that
I'm not
I've even
trying to
been on
hide
your Fish Fam News a couple times because my videos, I think, to me, are like boring as shit. I don't even know how people are still watching me. Like
it.
when I make my videos, I'm like, I can't believe people are watching this, even though I'm just documenting exactly what I'm doing at the moment. Like there's no editing, there's no music. Like I don't put a real whole lot of effort into it, and people are still watching. And I thank every single one of my subscribers and viewers. Dilly dilly to all you guys. Like I'm truly humbled. Believe me, I'm not in it for the fame.
Right, right. No, it's a passion. That's the thing. Is that's how it should be too for people. If anybody's out there like has a channel and you're stressed out about numbers or subs, and you're doing it for the wrong reason. Like you got to be making these videos and doing it because it's something that you enjoy doing. And I don't just enjoy it for me. I don't just enjoy the fish hobby. I've worked in film a little bit, and I've done vlogging, travel documentary stuff with friends of mine. I used to manage bands and tour bands around and be like a booking agent, tour manager, all this stuff with entertainment and stuff. And for me, yeah, I'm the film part of it. Just that part is a passion for me too, thankfully. Otherwise, it would be like a grind every time I have to edit a video. It's not for me. It's fun to edit a video. It's like I said, making a piece of art. And I just feel lucky for me that those are my passions. So for me, this is fun. Like, and then, so yeah, the dream, anywhere down the line, if it ever did become financially like lucrative, man, it's like a dream. That's just like icing on the cake. But either way, if I never if nothing ever comes, I guess I can't look at it that way. You can't say like if nothing ever comes of it, because me, everything come over every day. I learn
Oh, are you
a little
there?
bit. There's self awareness. Oh,
Oh, there
I
you go.
got yeah, I'm good. But there's like that a certain level of self awareness that you get when you're making content because you're looking at yourself. You're making a video about yourself. You watch yourself. You learn what your mannerisms are, your character defects are, the words that you mispronounce, and you learn stuff about yourself in the process too. I
Yeah.
think it's good for me. I have fun with it. I'm
Well,
addicted.
I'd love to. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget. Because I've had a really good idea lately, and I've tried to talk to a few people, and no one seems to want to run with it. But why don't you unbox that my aquarium box?
Yeah, yeah.
And I will ask you that question right after you're done, so the folks can. What I'm gonna do, Joe, right now is I'm going to let you unbox. You can talk through it. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to be in the chat answering, but I'll just let you go with it. I won't interrupt you or anything. Okay.
Oh, you got to hit the head, right? You're going
And
to hit the
that
head
too,
real quick.
of course. So
I'm
go
gonna lower.
after it, Joe.
All right. I'm just gonna lower the camera a little bit so that you're not looking at me, but we're just gonna open this. We're gonna do the monthly Christmas unboxing. And I feel kind of bad because I don't want to like kill anybody else's surprise if they haven't got theirs in the mail. But I figure since I'm in the Virgin Islands in the Caribbean, I would think that I got my box. My box took longer, so I would like to think that everybody else already got theirs and everybody else already knows what I'm about to see. But I apologize if I ruin a surprise for anybody here. Oh no, I don't think so. See, somebody did. I think somebody got a hold of my box in the warehouse in the basement. I think. Sweet. Yeah, I think someone got a hold of my box in the basement. See, I didn't know about that. See, he's messing with me. You were messing with me. You knew this. You knew what was in this box, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Oh boy, there you go. That's a nice shirt. I will wear that.
I hope it's the right size. I kind of just like judged.
Oh yeah. No, that's a safe size. Yeah. That's safe. There you go. Nice. Sweet. That's pretty awesome. I appreciate that.
Oops, I did drop something special in there. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Oh, here we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about how there wasn't any Placo caves at the cave in here. Talking about how there's no Placo caves at the Aquatic Experience, and like in 3 of my interviews from the aquatic experience, everybody was like, I asked if there was something that, what would you have liked to have been here that wasn't here this year, and so many people said Pleco caves.
Oh,
So
look, there's gonna be tons of pleco caves, tons of giant cholla wood, tons and tons of awesome stuff this year at Aquatic Experience at the My Aquarium Box booth. I can assure you that.
Oh wow! See, there's some crazy stuff. Dr. Tim's Aquatics. Got the Waste Away time release gel capsules. It looks like. Sweet. Nice. And you can never have enough fish food here. We've got the Ocean Nutrition Community Formula Flakes. It's a mix. Very cool. Got bright lights, bright lights. Oh, sweet. This is awesome. I know these are these are everywhere here, but that's awesome. It's like a whelk, I think, actually, right? These are shells for shellfish, for shellies, shell dwellers. That's sweet. That's something I would not have expected to find in the box. Very cool. Awesome. And a five-way control valve. I know I'll use that because I have a really nice air pump, but I haven't even hooked it up yet because I gotta plumb up the lines around the tanks first. But I want to check out this guy because I'm about to get into Plecos because I'm really into the idea of breeding them. We'll see if I come back with some from Peru. But that's pretty sweet. Triangle cave. The closed end in the back.
Yeah, we're getting all sorts of shapes and sizes now. We're going to be branding our own. So there'll be My Aquarium Box branded caves, as well as took sort of a survey, and I want our guy to start making that Coraline purple cave for people who breed saltwater fish. Like if they have a beautiful tank, why do they want a clay pot in their tank when they can have something that's looks sort of authentic to the saltwater world?
Sweet. Now I haven't seen this Waste Away gel. What's up with that? I just haven't seen it before.
Oh, that's Dr. Tim's new product. We're the first to. You're the first. You guys are the first to see that.
Oh, really? It's a new product altogether, new on the market.
All brand new from Dr. Tim's.
Nice. So no, but what's the deal with it? I've got to read this here. It's supposed to keep it will last 30 days. Last up to 30 days. It's like a capsule or a cartridge that goes into the tank. So I guess it cleans impurities out of the water.
It's like how do I explain it? Like it removes like sludge, like that sludge buildup. It'll break it down, and like you'll be able to like really efficiently clean your tank.
Oh, that's cool. And it even comes with a little holder with the. Oh, wow. Oh, sweet. That's pretty cool stuff. And then it's got this little suction cup. So you can suction cup it onto the side of the tank and can just hang there.
Yeah, if you think of it like one of those like bleach pucks you throw in your toilet.
Oh, the urinal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an aquarium urinal cake.
Except it doesn't smell like peppermint, which we wouldn't want that.
No, it's really, really cool. Greg's been working with Dr. Tim for quite a few months on getting this in the box. And, that's another thing. I don't mean to like, pat our own or Greg's back. He is constantly looking for new products to get in the box that nobody has seen or companies are just releasing. And you guys are always the first people to get them. There's been several items in these boxes that they aren't even able to buy yet. Just recently, ChemiPure Green was one of the first products, not first products, a new line of products that Boyd introduced, and people that had My Aquarium Box got them before they were even able to buy them in the stores. And like, that's really awesome.
Well, that is awesome, and that's even another benefit to getting this box, definitely. And that's another piece of news is now I have my own discount code for me to offer up to other people, which is
Yeah,
really awesome.
throw that around
It's
left and right, and it benefits not only
yeah.
us, but hopefully you get free boxes out of it.
Oh, there you go. Well, oh, and the other one was HC Aquatics. He's still in here. Yeah, he won the mega box this year, right? I mean this month, right?
I believe
Well,
so.
he had mentioned that to me. Yeah, he's got it in there. He might have mentioned it in the chat, but I go. There's another stream that I hang out with him in, and he had mentioned to me that he won that the mega box. I'm pretty sure. But okay, so I got a good question for you, though, man. It's a serious question.
Alrighty. I
Now,
love
you know
serious
I have,
questions because you
you
guys
know
know
I
how
have
serious I am of a guy.
now you know I have like a stack of these boxes, right? Like a stack of them, like
I
you have in
believe
your
you do because
basement.
I know
Okay.
Sean Pectech showed me the stack of boxes he's got, and was the original subscriber, so he's got almost 3 years worth of boxes.
I don't like to throw away a good thing either, so I've had a hard time just throwing them away. And then there's also all this. You always have this blue.
That's we have a factory of Smurf. That's Smurf pubes.
Nice, I like it. But my question to you, what do I do with this? Like, I mean, no, I mean, I might not. It's not nothing, not to be rude, but I'm like, I have so many of these, and I'm just wondering, like, what what do I
So
do with
you
these boxes? And I'm just thinking about I could ship fish or repurpose these and
Well, you mentioned you might be
ship out.
moving soon, so you could
Yeah.
pack a deodorant in one, maybe a toothbrush in another. Um, what I do with them in where I live is I burn them in my fire pit. It
Nice.
makes really good.
I wish there was a way I could like. I wouldn't want to. It'd be a total waste of a carbon footprint to send them back. But I guess what I'm gonna do with them is maybe send out stuff to my viewers. Maybe use them to repurpose them and put my own stuff in them. But either way, it's an advertisement for you guys. I guess once they get
Yeah,
the
just
package,
take a
they
black marker and write JH Aquatics coming at you with this box. Yeah, reuse them. We don't care. I
But
hate to waste.
yeah, I don't
While I
want to
do
throw them
drive
away.
a big truck, because I need a pickup truck. I have a house. I don't like to. I'm not really like a rule breaker anymore, or I don't like to fuck over the environment. I try to do the best I can. I try to recycle as much as I can. I try to, all that shit. But I drive a Ram, so it's not like I'm
Greg
saving on gas or anything.
Greg Jones says make a box for it.
Yeah, you can make a box for it. You could
There
put a dog treat in 20 of them and then stack them up and have your dog just go crazy on them, and it'll probably keep them busy for at least an hour. It's like
Yeah.
a cardboard version of a dog Kong.
Well, that's what I started opening up the box, and of course he thinks it's his bark box, right? So he come rolling over here wanting to see if it was his box. What are you doing over there? What's in the box? What's in the box? Looking for his treat or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's we're all spoiled in this house. We all got our own box. We get them in.
So there's one more question I'd like to ask you because I don't. So I mean, we're going good here, but I don't want to. I want to really get on your channel and do an interview, and I don't
Yeah.
want to waste all these questions, and I want you to waste all your questions. But one of my favorite ideas that I've had with all these live streams lately, I mentioned it to a few people a few months ago, is that have you ever watched Pet Life Radio? It's like a radio podcast.
Right.
But what I really think could be interesting is sort of like a fish keeping radio show that is scheduled every day, and it's not just these 9-hour live streams, which you go on a live stream and all of a sudden you're just looking at a wall, and someone's cooking lunch, and someone is going through boxes, but like people are still in the chat, and then like there's like two people watching at one point, and then maybe there's like 40 people watching. But like if you
and
had,
those streams are good for that. I mean, that's something different. Yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's like the worst stream ever. I'm just saying it would be nice if there was a certain sort of like radio station for YouTubers and there was blocks out. So like, you know, if you're tuning in at between 6 in the morning and 10 in the morning, you know, it's your morning crew. And then there's like a saltwater crew or a freshwater, you know what I mean? It's blocked off just like radio is blocked off. And you tune in for your morning drive, your afternoon drive, who listens during the middle of the day, who's listening way at night. And you can always count on those people being on at the same time. And I just think it's a really great idea that nobody's taking advantage of.
Yeah, no, and I think, but everybody talks about it, and I think it's what it comes down to is you would have to have enough channels that were truly on point and there, and not skip a beat and be there every time that they're supposed to be or whatever. I mean, but luckily right now we kind of do have it pretty structured just naturally because well, I mean, I know you mentioned something, you're talking about something with like different clicks and stuff, but for the most part, I think what I do really preach it and I believe it that the fish niche on YouTube is like an incredibly awesome example of what all the other niches and group, you know, and social groups that are on YouTube, like we are a really good example for the rest of them, just on how for the most part we remain really positive and we give each other their space. You know, when we know someone else is going to go on, why would we want to like come on go stream at the same time? I mean, stuff happens. Like tonight, there's a couple, like three good fish keeping channels all streaming right
Justin
now.
goes on at 8, and I hate to step on people's toes.
Well, he was pretty much probably getting close to the end, but we didn't. I mean, we got lucky there. We waited until 9, and it was pretty much. But the key is that we thought about that. The key is that we're a pretty respectful group of people, and we have some morals and ethics about what we're doing. And we're just a really good example for the rest of YouTube, if that means anything. But
yeah, I agree 100%. A lot of people say, why do you go on so late? But like 9 o'clock East Coast time, it's 6 o'clock West Coast. So like California is still probably eating dinner. I know it's late for UK, but most other people's live streams are over. I know a lot of people say like live streams are like TV. If you want to flip from live stream to live stream, that's the beauty of a free world. But at the same time, I don't like to like jump on someone else's toes while that, like if they have a scheduled live stream, like you do Sundays at 2, right?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So like not that I even could, but if I could, like I would never schedule a live stream at 2 o'clock on Sunday because I know that's your live stream. Like I don't
and I know that like
to do that.
And that's the reason why I didn't do it at 12 or 1, because down the wormhole, she has her stream at I think 12 or 1 o'clock. So
I don't even know that channel. What's that channel?
Down the wormhole. She's I've spoken of her in the news before, but she has a few fish tanks. She has her she's just making videos about her experience fish keeping and the tanks that she has. She even has a tank with piranha. It's her husband's tank, but she feeds it in their live stream. Sometimes she feeds the piranha. But yeah, she's a cool channel. But I just know that she does her stream at I think it's 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I'm not sure. Sorry, but I would not want to mess with that. And then the only person I was worried about was that I guess Corey's trying to go live again. Not go live, but Corey's starting to stream again on Sunday evenings. But he streams much later because he's on the evenings for him. For me, I'm already in bed almost. It's like he comes on at 10 o'clock for me when he streams at an evening in Seattle.
He's West Coast.
Yeah, so
same with Joel. I mean, Joel streams every single day, basically at 6. I know Rico was streaming like every day for like 13 hours a day. So, like, what are you gonna do about that? There's nothing you can do there.
Right.
But kind of schedule them. I don't really have a schedule. I know one of the biggest things, every time I talk to Joey, he's like, you need to schedule, you need to schedule, you need to schedule. I'm like, well, I don't have the luxury of having the time to make videos to schedule them as well as live streams. Like, if I can go on a live stream, I'm going to do it. If I schedule a live stream, there's no way I can stick to that schedule. My life is way too hectic.
I agree. No, it's a nice community. I'm just really happy to see how people respect each other, and it's a good example. And you know, and I have to say that it's not just like it has something to do with YouTube. We all know that. That I just think that when it comes to the hobby, I think the people in the fish keeping hobby have always pretty much been that way. You know, been very respectful. And I think everybody, I think a key thing for most people in this hobby is just making sure that we educate other people that are new or whatnot, because none of us want to see fish being harmed or mistreated. And I think that, you know, some people do get really passionate, you know, and especially, you know, you got some people that put hundreds of thousands of dollars into their hobby and they are super, super passionate. Sometimes people can go off a little bit deep in because but I remember that it's that passion. So I kind of keep in mind that they're acting that way because they care, and they're just trying to make sure that, you know, people aren't harming fish. But for the most part, everybody's really, really, I don't know, respectful about how they share their information and how they try to teach the next person, rather than just cussing somebody for doing it wrong. Say, well, I think you should maybe try this, see how that does, you know, or I don't know. And I think that that's the hobby's always had that going on, and you know, it transfers through in this community on this platform, and so we get to see it. But I have to say that I think that it's just fish keepers. Fish keepers are pretty just cool people, right?
Fish keepers in general, I would say, are pretty cool people for sure.
Yeah.
No, it's not like, you know, every single person, you know, but I would say good 95% of people that keep fish are good human beings. You know, they have nice hearts, and they,
And a
you know, you
connection with
could say that
nature.
about people that keep pets in general. Like, if you're keeping a pet, you know, you have a tendency to care for things.
For
You know,
the
most
most part.
people,
For
you
the
know.
most part, you know, living here in the Caribbean, there's some dog owners I'd like to put in jail, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's always those people, but you can't lump those people in with the mass.
Yeah, my dog is a half chow. He's half chow chow, half pit bull. He was a rescue. We got him at 4 weeks, but he was bred to be a fighting dog. It's just a little old fashioned down here in the Caribbean still. So, but he was rescued, but yeah, he was definitely bred to be a mean dog. But he is the most lovable little guy. He's just, oh, where is he at? You can't really. You can't see him. He's behind my
I can see a little bit.
microphone. Well, he's a black dog, which is like the worst dog to take pictures of, as you probably know. It's like
Yes,
so hard to get a good picture of a black dog. You got to get
my Huckle is he's a charcoal lab, and so sometimes he looks gray, sometimes he looks brown, sometimes he looks black, and I'm surprised he hasn't come bother me because he's only 10 months old. I had a chocolate lab for a little over 12 years. Before that, I had a pit bull for 14 years. So this is Huckleberry is
You
literally
see, they have the super chat there from you could replica X is what I is how I pronounce it.
I
But
call him Replica X, but
Replica.
his name's Ben. I said thanks,
Yeah.
Ben, in the super chat in the thingy. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, Ben.
he made you make the news the other week too. That was
Oh my God, he
blew
dropped
my
like
mind.
$150 in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, you owe him steak dinner.
Yeah, and he lives in Massachusetts, so I can definitely get him that. Actually, Ben is the one who researched all the fish laws in Massachusetts, and he emailed me like everything that I needed to know, which was really good because, you know I was like winking the other night, like catching a bass, and he's like, nobody's gonna break down your door and like come shut that tank down because you have one bass, but like I don't want
If you
I
just,
don't like
that's a
to break
problem, is
rules.
that you're making content that goes on to the World Wide Web. If it wasn't for wanting to make a video about it and share it with the rest of us, then no one would have a clue what you're doing, and yeah, you'd probably be fine. And we know, and we know that you wouldn't be harming the animals, so who would? Well, I don't see why it's a problem, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not like I'm doing friggin' tests like, can I breed a Labrador with a bass? Let's see
Yeah,
how
I don't
this
know what they.
works.
I
Like
think
I don't
there's
know
something.
what they're thinking, but then again, most of the tank
I think
will
that's
be
what they're
on
worried about.
YouTube.
Is you? I think that's what they're worried about, you breeding it, and it probably has something to do with, say, the fisheries, which have a business stocking fish, and
I don't know that people stock too many
unless we're
bass
talking
around
about
here. I know
wild.
trout
Oh,
is
okay.
stocked. I
So
don't think bass is stocked.
I was just reaching for something, I don't know.
I know. True, true, true.
But
Very true.
I had to give you some stuff though. I watched your video you posted like an hour and a half ago about the 135-gallon tank.
Oh, you mean the tank, the stand that Greg built while I
Yeah,
drank
okay.
like 74 beers?
Exactly the stand that Greg built. Like I was watching this video, I'm like, what is going on? You just filming it? You just call the guy, hey, come over and build me a tank stand. He did all the work. Like I think
Greg?
I saw you like you put in like 3 screws.
No, I screwed every single
Oh, okay.
screw in that tank.
All
Is
right.
I screwed in. Greg bought the lumber. He cut the lumber. I dragged it downstairs, and then he drilled it, and I screwed it. But yeah, he pretty much did like all the work.
Yeah. I was watching the video. I was like, man, you got a
If you
good
go if
deal
you go
going on
watch
here.
Greg's video, he has his videos like I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 minutes, and it's time lapsed sort of. But yeah, you can see how much I'm standing around drinking beers and how much he's doing work. But Huckleberry probably helped more than I did.
Now that's going to be a salt water, right? A reef tank.
Speaking of Huckies, how you doing? No, I was gonna do saltwater, but I was originally gonna do saltwater fish only, a Fowler tank, but I wanted to do a native tank, and now I can't do a native tank. So like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. The sump's on its way. Greg and I are gonna plumb it, and then I think I'm just gonna start aquascaping and with the original idea and figure out what I'm gonna do. Like I'd really like to not. I'd like to stay away from like schools of fish and small fish and your typical tropical fish that I've kept for like a million years. I'd really like to do something big. If I can't legally do what I want to do,
Yeah.
like I want to do like some big fish that look beautiful but like are personable, bigger fish, like not flower horn for like, but like maybe like a bisher or, I honestly don't know. I'm actually going to do a whole live stream eventually and get everybody's opinion on what kind of fish should be kept in the tank.
Yeah, I know. I saw when we were at the Chicago there. I saw a tank that was that. I think it was about the same size, and it was that cube shape, but it was just heavily planted, like the tank behind you, but even like more like a jungle. It was really intense, and I saw that and I was like, that's what I want to do. And there's something crazy about the depth that you can get from like that cube shaped tank where, you can look at it from each side, and you get like a totally different, you know, it's like a totally different tank from each side. And you're not just like looking at one main face. You can literally walk around it and look at, 3 sides, and you're like, it's all completely different because it is so big.
This tank is really cool. It's a rimless cube. The glass is super thick, beautiful, gorgeous, like super gorgeous tank. And what I really want to do for this is focus like solely on the hardscape of the tank. I want to make it, and I was talking to my boy David from Shizdank Tanks. I want to make it so the hardscape is so gorgeous that if I didn't want to put plants in it, I wouldn't even need to put plants in it. Because you don't see too many tanks like that out there. You have corals, you have planted tanks. How many tanks do you see people put effort in, like really like the whole hardscape, like all the
Well,
gravel or the sand, the rocks, different kinds of rocks, driftwood, like, but it
it's
doesn't need to be
funny.
planted to be beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's funny that you say that because that's one of my one of my challenges that I really enjoy. And this 55 gallon back here behind me, that's the future of that. It's going to be a brackish water. I'm sorry, not that's going to be black water, not brackish. But I have a brackish water tank up here with a moray eel in it right now. But black water I want to do back here on this 55, and that's the cool thing about that for me in brackish water because of the salinity. But is that you there's not many plants. You're not going to have any plants in there. The water has too many tannins. There's not any photosynthesis that can even really happen because the water is so tea colored. But to me, that's an awesome challenge, you know, because you like skip the plants. Now you have to make it look awesome with leaf litter and the tannins and the driftwood and the hardscape and the fish. And like, it's like, to me, it's like I like the challenge. I like the idea of like taking away one of the main things that most people put in their tank to make it just pop. You know, you put green stuff in your tank and it pops. But to make a tank look awesome, the challenge of making a really aesthetically pleasing tank without any plants, to me is a cool challenge and a really awesome idea.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with that. And
so that's what's going to happen back there. It'll be just all leaf litter at the bottom. I got a really awesome piece of driftwood in there that will be going in there.
You're going to keep it sponge filtered?
Yeah, well, there's actually a sponge filter and there's a hang on the back on that right now because it's a bare bottom tank and I just want to keep up with keep it happy. I just have two angelfish in there because they were in a community tank and they started to spawn. They were both rescues. They were both rescues that were covered with ick. I did that classic thing, you know, at the pet store. I couldn't see them die, and I begged them to give them to me or sell them to me for like $1. And I ran home, salt dip. They were both different times. I bought them like 2 months, 3 months between each of them, and I brought each of them home. They're both in the same condition, kind of when I got each of them. Anyways, I didn't know their sex. I didn't know what was up with them. I put them in my community tank because they were still really small, and they got to like a mature age where they could breed, and that's how I knew that they paired off. They could have killed each other, but they paired off, and I saw them spawning on a rock, and I saw the male acting all really aggressive. He was trying to kill all the other fish in the tank, so I had to pull them out of there and get them in their own tank now. So they've got that, and they've spawned in that tank. And that's one of the things that started me on YouTube. I was on Facebook. My angelfish were spawning on the glass. And I went on Facebook Live. I just said, I got to show this to people. This is really cool, you know? And I did a Facebook Live session, and I had like 110,000 views within the first like 6 hours, you know, and most of it was that within
110,000?
It's huge. I got to look for it on my YouTube, on my Facebook page.
Should have done that on YouTube.
Well, the thing is a couple people, right? But I wasn't even on YouTube yet. So I was like, I posted it, you know, I was going live, and I just saw that people were sharing it in other groups on Facebook. It was just getting shared around because it was live, and it was like really cool. These fish are spawning. She would drop the eggs, and he'd come behind and fertilize them, and they just go in for a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes doing that. And I had the whole thing on there, and I was just blown away by how many views I got out of it, how much activity came of like a little simple just showing what I do. It's part of my hobby. And it was like, I always watched YouTube, you know, forever. And I've been like, watched the community of the fish keepers and Corey and Dustin and all that. And I always told myself I wanted to have a YouTube channel because I love the filming and the video and all that. But when that happened to me, it was like, oh, you got to do this. Like, that was the turning point for me when I saw the activity that I got and the reaction and the attention that I got from that one little live stream on Facebook. I was like, I need to go for it. Just go with it. I need to make a YouTube channel. No one messing around.
It does get addictive.
That's really how it started. Yeah.
And you've grown really quick too. So.
Kind of. I mean, you asked that question to some of the little bit bigger channels, like, how do you feel about these other channels that have just blown right by you? And I mean, I've been on YouTube for 9 months, but I have channels that have blown right by me too already.
I had channels that, I mean, it's taken me the better part of 5 years to get here, and I still can't believe it. But there's been channels like even good guys like Steenfont and Flip, like those guys just fly right past me.
Well, even Joel Corvus Oskin, when I started on YouTube, he had about the same amount of I believe so. He had about the same amount of subs that I did. He was like under. He's like 7,000 subs or something,
Oh,
or
he's been putting
6,000
YouTube videos up
subs.
for like over 10 years though.
Right, but he only had like 6 or 7,000 subs, and then when he started working with Corey, it just went shot right up. But
Well, that's the thing with the clicks is if you can get affiliated with somebody, you know, those guys are good buddies and they're putting out good content and people want to watch it and you can get popular, but you know, it's like we're all in this together, right? Like
yeah, and you got to
why
be doing it. You got to be doing it because you love it. It's a passion. It's not like I was saying before. It's not about.
if you start a YouTube channel with 0 subscribers and your only goal is to get to a certain point so that you can start making money, first of all, you're not going to make any money because YouTube AdSense is not that like glorious unless you're Dustin. As
Right.
maybe Corey is probably making a real decent paycheck. Joey, Dustin, Corey, like you got to be over 100,000. You got to have like crazy views to even be relevant with a
Oh, it's something
paycheck.
that you can live off of, right? But one of the things for me, it's like not to get too deep, but it's kind of like the passion, kind of like to me the key to happiness. Part of how I live my life and the key to happiness um, is just it. It's not about the destination; it's about the journey, right? If you're not passionately enjoying the journey, like the travel and the journey down the trail, and you're worried about where you're going to get to and to the destination, you're going to be miserable. You have to be doing something where you actually enjoy the actual journey. Like I enjoy the videos that I make as I make. I don't have like some goal that I have to get to and I'm going to be bummed if I don't get there. I'm enjoying the journey. And I think and this goes for everything in life, as long as you enjoy that journey through life and you're enjoying it, the process of getting there, then you're going to be a lot happier in life with whatever it may be that you're doing. That's how I do it, and that's my that's my method to trying to to finding my happiness in life.
It's a good
So
good mantra.
yeah, enjoy the journey, not the destination, because there's always going to be this destination, so you're always going to be unhappy looking for the next thing. You got to enjoy today, enjoy right now.
Yeah.
And so,
I'm on board with you, man. I gotta fly down to your place. Just let me know when there's gonna be power for exactly like 5 days.
right. Well,
Sure.
I could never promise that. I'm not going to get a promise out of the electric company either. And then at the same time, we pay 7 or 8 times the national average for electricity here. We pay. Ooh, could I
I'm
find
doing
the bill?
12 right now. I'm at 12 cents a kilowatt.
We pay up to 64 cents per kilowatt hour.
Oh my God.
Let me pull out a.
Your electric bill has to
Damn
be
it.
at least like $500.
Now this is 300 a month. Yeah. Now, because 300 for me, but yes, my house, my meter, which I have it's 2 apartments, so the meter is on average. Yeah, I'm looking at crazy bills: $900, $900, $875 a month, $984 a month, and then because we had the hurricanes, they went ahead and slapped 3 months together. So my bill for this cycle was $1,876. I just gave them $1,300 to try to calm them down for a minute, but I couldn't even pay the whole thing.
So not only do you have to do manual labor, but now you need a pizza truck
Yeah,
just to keep your fish tanks.
yeah. Living here in the Caribbean, no, yeah, YouTube will never pay for my life. Like it's not an option here.
No, it's not going to pay for anybody. You got
No,
you
no,
got to
no.
go. You got to go big.
Right.
Big.
Not
This
even
is people see like me with that like 35,000 subscribers and they're like, "Wow, you must be making so much money." No, you need to be like 150 250,000 subscribers. You need like 100,000 views on every one of your videos to like make it work. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then I see other people that have flown right past me. Their channels, small, yeah, younger than mine, and they're 1,000 views per video. I'm happy if I get 400 or 500 right now. But then again, that's what it is. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Happy.
Rob's Exotic Aquatics just says Joey the King made about $3,000 in super chats last night on his live stream. Imagine that. Imagine you do a live stream whenever you want, talking about the same old shit for 10 years.
I saw him and he did an interview with Rico. Rico had him on his channel.
And you get $3,000 in
hard.
That is amazing. Super cool. But I mean, good for him. I'm not like, I just speak bluntly, but I'm not saying Joey shouldn't do that. Like, he should definitely do that. Like, you know what I mean?
I was really surprised. I thought he was a really clean cut guy, and then I see him. Yeah, I didn't know. I mean, that's no offense. Everybody does what they do, but they're totally drinking, and I didn't know he smoked cigarettes. He smoked cigarettes. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I just saw him like he was on Rico's live stream, and he was like drinking a Corona and smoking a cigarette, and I was like, whoa! I've never seen this side of Joey ever. I had no idea. I thought he was just like a clean cut fish nerd that doesn't even drink at all.
Well, I mean, he's a regular guy. I mean, I smoked butts for 20 years. I'm 3 years no cigarettes now.
Yeah, that's good.
People smoke butts. People do, but like you expect to see, what you expect to see on camera. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Well, and he
can do whatever he wants now. He's got his subscribers and his revenue, and he can put out a video on doing literally whatever he wants, and he's going to get 100,000 views in the first day. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was another thing for me going to the conventions. I didn't realize how much of like I guess supposedly AE is actually like a pretty family friendly convention, but I've been told that a lot of these is pretty much an insane party for a lot of these people. They party hard. I did not know that part of it. I never saw that part of the it's a new side of it for me, going to these conventions and stuff and the after party.
Yeah. I refuse to go to those because
dangerous.
I just want to go to bed, really.
Oh yeah. And for me, going to them, especially going to the aquatic experience, it's a hustle for me. It's me trying to like accomplish a goal and doing something that I love and doing the news. And I was taking it very seriously, and I was stayed away from all the trouble and just so it was different for me. I was going there with like I got notes and I got a script, and I'm trying to make sure and check this off. I'm going to get this piece of footage and that piece of footage. And I think next time I go, I'll be a little bit more relaxed though. It was just taking it very seriously because it was like, I think I was just 4 or 5 months into my channel. 5 months.
It was super fun for me. I would have loved to talk to you or talk to more people. Just
you're all busy.
I saw you guys so busy. Like I could never even give somebody 5 minutes of my time.
Well, even I wanted to get an interview with Aaron, and I was trying to get an interview with Greg, but I wanted to do it at y'all's booth too because you had the backdrop and you had those you had like the director's chairs. It was like a perfect spot to do interviews. I ended up finding a curtain. If you watch my videos, I literally just
that green curtain.
I just dragged people up to where the bathrooms were and up against one of them curtains right by the bathrooms. So we were like literally doing these interviews, and people are like coming in and out of the bathrooms. Nobody got to see that on camera, but
yeah, it was a super weird colored curtain that all those videos are under. It's funny. Tech's video is really, your interview with him is really funny. I liked all of them, actually.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, he stayed with us at our B&B that week.
Oh, nice.
And he's coming up for Aquatic Experience New Jersey or New York or whatever. New Jersey.
New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey. In October. And it'll be me, Greg, Michael, and Sean. We're gonna get a hotel room, but this is awesome because it's only like 3 hours drive for us as opposed to 20.
Yeah, I really want to be there. So I really want to be there. I know I'm gonna be coming back from. I got Peru in July, and then I have to just
save money.
Do the grind. Well, yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll make it happen. I definitely want to be there though, and I think I'll be smarter about it. I spent a lot of money this last time because I didn't want well, I didn't know a lot of people there, and I didn't want to encroach on anybody. But this time around, I'd probably bunk up and get a room with somebody because I didn't spend any time in my room, and I spent like $700 on my room. I should have just like shared a room with somebody. All you're gonna do is go back there and sleep at the end of the night. Maybe do some editing on a computer and just sleep on the floor. Don't even let them know that there's two people in the room. Like, I don't know, just like I'm
Oh
gonna
my God,
definitely
it's
try to
just
clear my
literally
mind.
shower and
Yeah,
like
yeah, and
maybe
go
a half hour of
downstairs.
TV and sleep. So
That's
there's
it.
no
And
need
you're
to.
up and on that floor. Like for me, I was up and out on that floor before they opened the doors, and yeah, it's a good experience. It's really, I love the energy of that. Like I could do that. I was telling Greg that I'd love to find a way that I could be at these conventions and have a real purpose to be at them, whether it be sponsored by another product or, promoting my own product. But I just love the energy and all the intense, passionate people there about, within the hobby, saltwater and freshwater. It's just such an awesome energy. And I just
Yeah.
think I'm jealous of the people like that get to do this. Like I met a lot of the guys from Fritz Salt, which
Yep.
they like to
They were right
party.
next to our booth.
Yeah, they're hardcore, and they yeah, they do this like every month. They're at a different event. It's just like that would be awesome to be able to do that.
Huckleberry's like bugging the. Come here, Huck. Up, up, up. Wanna say hi? Wanna say hi, Hucky?
Yeah, and my dog hears me talking to a microphone, and he's just hanging close because he's like, "What is going on? Like, who are you talking to? And why is it not me?"
Yeah, this dude, he's had enough. He had his little nap. He's ready. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
So with that, I think that
Oh
was
yeah.
pretty awesome.
We're over half an hour here.
Oh
Kind
yeah,
of.
no, we're an hour and 35 in. I think that was really good. I really don't want to waste a whole lot of these questions because I want to interview you on my channel, like a real interview, or like I want to get on your channel and for you to interview me. So I think we'll call it here. I think that was a really good live stream, even though there's still 46 people watching. I think
Yeah,
we'll call it a night.
yeah, and thanks to Lisa. She's doing a good job holding down the fort there in the chat.
Oh my God, Lisa's literally the
Yeah.
best wrench on the planet. She always is
And
just like
yeah, River Life is still hanging
100%
out.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I got to get some guppies out to River Life here soon. And Greg wants some of my the local guppies here. I just got to make sure I don't break any laws. That's all. And quarantine them properly so they don't send them there with any funky parasite or anything. But yeah, I got to get some. River Life wants to do that. He told you about that, right? He wants to do that like a my Aquarium Box aquarium
Tank. Yeah.
and use products from the box in the tank. But he said he wants to put my guppies in the tank as the fish, as the
Oh,
livestock.
that'll be
So
awesome. That'll be
yeah,
great promo for both of us.
yeah. Well, if you have something fun to do, it's nice to see them make it somewhere else and have somebody else enjoy them because otherwise they're just sitting in a gut that nobody cares about but me on this island.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, yeah, it was nice chatting with you. I enjoyed it.
It was awesome. I'm gonna stop broadcast in like 20 seconds, but just stay on, and then we can just chat for like a minute before we hit the hay or whatever.
Yeah.
I would like to thank everybody who super chatted. I would also love to thank Lisa, who is the best wrench and moderator there is out there. And thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. It was really awesome. So why don't you say goodbye, Joe, and we'll call it a night.
Yeah, you guys have a good night. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate y'all hanging out and good to see you in here, River Life. We're gonna catch up. We gotta do a collaboration soon too, and thank you, Lisa, too, because she takes care of. She's in my chat too and holds it down. I don't know if she's a wrench yet, but I'll make sure I take care of that because she does a good job.
Yeah, gotta do it. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Dilly dilly, folks. Good night.